Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path of recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Well, good morning there, patient.
What's up, my brother?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm here. You know what's funny?
What's that?
We come in here to the coffee shop, and a lot of people think we come to the coffee shop, right?
Right.
Well, because we're sober, Diet Coffee. But there's so much technology in this coffee shop
I know.
studio.
I know, it's
every
overwhelming.
time I come in here, man, there's like all these like gauges that are lighting up, and
Lights,
cameras,
green screens,
special lightings, and
yeah.
it's amazing, man.
It's the operating room. It's like being in the hospital. All the tools are here. I mean, clear.
No, Brian's awesome.
Yeah. Brian Audio
what a rock
Hive.
star.
Good stuff.
Totally,
Yeah. For all your podcasting needs.
Yeah,
Visit
so it's
Audio.
Chicagoland.
Yes, in Chicagoland. Yeah. So how you doing, man? How you feeling?
Hey, that's a cool picture, man. They just enhanced it here. Let me take a quick picture and we'll post it on up there. And look at you trying to get down to business, and I'm goofing around. I apologize.
Glenn's all waiting for he's doing the selfie.
No, man, it's been a tough 9 days.
Yeah,
I've been sick. And, tough 9 days, man. But it's good to be back. In fact, the alarm woke me up this morning, and rarely wakes me up except when I'm sick. But no, I was actually a lot's been going on. I was out in California celebrating my 60th. Had a great family time. My daughters came in. My little grandbaby came in. It was a great time. I got sick.
Yeah, right.
And, it's funny. I was looking forward to that for 6 months.
Right.
And we went to a great location in California, and just everything lined up, expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I learned through, you and coming to these podcasts, man, about expectations. Kept my expectations low, and the day I go out there, I get sick. And, I had some good lessons through that. But
were you like sick on
can chat through 'em.
Were you sick like you had a cold, or were you sick like you got really sick?
No, I had a cold. Had a cold. I landed up getting diagnosed with flu A. I didn't even know that was a thing. But flu A, so I'm on like 4 meds, and it's been 9 days now. And but I was out there and I wasn't feeling good. Day one, flying out there, I wasn't feeling good. And then that night, I tried to get some sleep. The next day I woke up and I was done. I mean, I was just cooked.
Like on the couch, done?
Yep.
Yeah. So isn't that funny? You know what it kind of reminds me of? Not funny like in a haha, glad you're sick kind of way, but ironic way. It's like COVID, So everyone had all these plans for 2020, right? And they had strategic plans. They had expectations. They had a vision of how 2020 was going to lay out. And then they ended up on the couch. They ended up on the couch.
Totally.
And that's what happened to you. And I think, I think that it's challenging because we can't get so far ahead of ourselves that we think everything is going to go the way that we think it's going to go.
Yeah, and I don't want to get all head trippy, and all this, but man, I learned, I really learned some stuff. First of all, as I kind of dig prayer, right? And I kind of dig God's will, and it's nice it's nice when I have examples of where I actually live. The shit that we talk about. And I mean, hey, I had all my plans, for going out there, and but I really had tempered expectations, right? And I kind of do in life. It just is what it is, and as it comes, it comes. And what the number one lesson, first of all, I still got to do the stuff I wanted to do. I wasn't feeling good doing it.
Right.
I was all medded up. I had my Dayquils and my Mucinex cough medicines, and but what it really forced me to do, and I shared this with you, and it was really cool, is normally I would have been in the game with everybody, right? I would have been making food. I would have been, participating. I would have been on the floor, playing with my grandbaby, and And what it forced me to do, because I couldn't give all my germs to her, what it forced me to do was sit on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was on the couch, it forced me to observe. And I really sat back, and instead of being in the game, I was in the bleachers watching the game. And I really had a unique opportunity to learn who my kids are. You know, and they're adult kids, they're 30, 26, and my 17-year-old daughter was there. But I really had a chance to watch them interact without, Glenn getting involved, without Glenn getting in the mix. And it was really cool. I mean, I have some cool kids, and I watched them bond, instead of me being in there trying to be the glue. And so, it was really cool.
An interesting vantage that you wouldn't have gotten if you had been, like you said, in the game, and and almost feeling like the director in the play, but instead you were a ticket holder in just watching it all unfold in front of you. That had to be, yeah.
It was really cool, and something that I've really focused on this year is, I think we as humans, especially sober humans, as folks that are either seeking sobriety or early in sobriety or in sobriety, I mean, alcoholism is pain.
Right.
You would agree with that, right?
Totally.
I mean, painful mentally, painful physically, painful experientially.
Relationship, right?
Yeah, it's just pain.
Yes.
It's just alcoholism just drives pain, and I think our bodies, and our brains we're built and wired for comfort. I just think back to the caveman or whenever. I think we're built for comfort, and I think we naturally, our natural setting in our brain is set for comfort. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people try to find. That's why I
try and find it through alcohol. You think it's there at the bottom of the bottle.
Well, the exit, right? The escape is escape the stress, right? I just want to escape. And at the end of the day, the alcohol created more pain than life pain. And then I wanted to escape from the alcohol pain, right? And that's why I got sober.
And it becomes a never-ending loop if you keep trying to find that comfort that you shoot for. Dr. John, who's been on a few times here, talks about it as the hole in the soul, right? Yeah. And so, but yes, finally the bottle runs out, because you come to the realization that comfort isn't found at the bottom of the bottle, and we made the decision to toss the bottle and not buy another one. And it wasn't an easy choice to make because it's baffling, or no, better yet, it's cunning, right? It's cunning. It tells
powerful,
it makes you think you're going to find comfort, more comfort in the more you drink, and that's just not. For me, it wasn't the reality.
Well, what happens early on, I think the brain, you get a brain marker, right?
Right.
Because those first couple cocktails, there is relief.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There is relief, and your brain's like, oh.
There's even a little fun.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, that's
right.
Add some fun to it, right? But that's where you sit there and like, man, that's what I really, that's what my brain was looking for, is that level of relief. But then there's a whole nother level of pain that comes with it. So, what I really focused on this year is there's some gain that can come with pain. And
I like that.
And again, the nature, everybody wants to escape, right? We want the softer, easier way. But if you want to accomplish something in life, that's where there's pain. Yeah, discomfort.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
It doesn't have to be pain, but just call it discomfort, right?
Right.
It's like going to the gym.
Well, right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you do it for an hour for the feeling it gives you for the balance of the 23 hours of the day, but you're right.
Yeah, man, I hate that hour.
I mean, if you ever walk away from the gym going, that was a lot of fun, then you probably weren't lifting enough weights.
No, but there are some people that do that, and they have broken through the barrier somehow. Right, of getting to the endorphin rush and all that. I don't get any of that. I mean, I am very self-aware. but dopamine hits, right? I mean, I know when the endorphins are running, but I don't get them at the gym at all.
Well, looking back to your sickness, I think that I can make a direct tie to my experience in recovery, and that is that at some point, first of all, my body, my game, I said I'm done, right? My body was over. I couldn't go anymore. I couldn't get off that couch that you were on, right? I was just stuck there. But at some point, I said, enough, I need to seek help. So you went to a doctor, right?
I did.
Right. And in my recovery, I went to the Doctor of Recovery, which is an organization called AA. And I had a stop along the way, but my first stop along the way was a rehab. My first stop was to my family doctor. My wife took him to my family doctor and said, okay, he's ready to, how is he doing physically? So you go to a professional, you go to help, you go to what's out there, and which is what you did. I mean, had you not done that, you wouldn't have got the medication that's got you on the road to recovery.
Yeah, it's like this. I mean, we always say it's hard to fix a problem with the same brain that created it. And, I could have sat on the couch and said, I know how to fix this. I've got the plan.
That's right.
And I would have been sicker than I am today.
Well, that's the thing. But you didn't. You turned to the help that was available, and you said, give me the med. Tell me what to do so that I can get on the floor and play with my grandkid. I mean,
so I have to tell you funny stories.
Yeah.
So I just love how this shit works, man. I just love how this shit works. And I'm reminded every day how this stuff works. So I go see the doctor, and they call in my meds, right? So I'm sitting there in Walgreens waiting for my meds, and I get 4 meds. I have a Benadryl antihistamine cough syrup, right, for me to sleep at night. I got 2 little pills for my cough. I got an inhaler steroid thing, and I got some flu's pack, right? So, excuse me. So I'm sitting there, and the pharmacist screams, so it seemed, over the counter, right? So I'm 20 feet from the pharmacist.
Right.
She screams, she goes, Mr. Hafner, this cough syrup has alcohol in it. Is that allowable?
Oh, my. She outed you.
Wow, yeah. I mean, and I said, yeah, I said, how much? She's like, 3%. I'm like, that's fine. And I said, I've got a program, don't worry about it. So as soon as I say that, one of our guys from our Monday night group is down the aisle and heard that.
Oh, no.
And he peeks his head around and he goes, are you sure you're supposed to be taking that?
Wow.
And in the immediate time, I'm texting my sponsor, right, saying, dude, this cough medicine, I'm trying to get better. This cough medicine has a little bit of alcohol in it. Or are we okay? And so I'm like, I showed him my text, right? I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Jen's going to get the bottle, and she's, I'm not going to down. I mean,
it wasn't a fifth. It was 8 ounces
It was 8 ounces of cough syrup that had 3% alcohol or whatever. So,
of course, you ordered a gallon, but
well, yeah, I went back and got 17 refills.
Right.
But I mean, it's just funny how all this stuff works, and how many guardrails I have in my life today, and so then. I laughed, and then my sponsor responded. He goes, absolutely take it. He goes, what the doctor told you to take. He goes, keep Jen informed, keep me informed. He goes, you got to get better. Like there's greater risk in not getting better than in that little 3%.
Right.
But, and so that I snapshotted that, took a screenshot of that, and sent it to that dude. I just love how it works, man.
Well, look, there's a couple interesting lessons that I learned in there. First of all, you're not 8 days sober checking with your sponsor to see if it's okay to cross the street.
Right.
You're 8 years sober.
But I was still checking with them.
But you're still checking with them.
Because that's my program.
Well, and that's your sober doctor. I mean, that's part of your sober medical team. I mean, so, again, I guess that's my takeaway from your experience is the fact that there's help out there. Take the help. I mean, we're never too strong to say, I got this. I'll do it on my own. I'll make the decision about the cough syrup. I'll make the decision about what doctor. Take the help that's out there. Listen to the professionals or the people that have been in your spot before, right? And I also heard in your little story that, surround yourself with people that you need to be accountable to. I mean, I got
one of my 25 things.
I got a bulk of my trouble at the age of 59. I had come to the end of my rope, if you will, because I had no accountability in my life. And when you talk about pain through gain through pain, accountability is one of it's uncomfortable. I'm 60 plus years old. Do I really need to check with my sponsor before I take a cough syrup? No. You would think the answer is no. But in our world, the answer is, hey, you've seen what accountability has done for you. So now continue to use that same. Why would you stop taking your meds? Like your doctor, he prescribes those meds. You walk out of the store, you take them for the first dose, and then you stop taking them. Why would you do that?
Why go? But see, isn't that what people do in AA? They go. It's funny. I'm on. As you know, I'm on social media, and I always see the people that say that AA doesn't work. Right? Mm-hmm. AA doesn't work. AA is full of shit. But I watch their ego in the whole post. It's all they know better. Right?
Because they stopped taking their meds.
It's like it's like what Dr. John said. There's something Dr. John said that just rings tattooed on my brain. I looked at him one day when he was in here, and I said, why does AA not? Why do people say AA doesn't work? Mm-hmm. He paused, which is rare, but he paused. He looked right at me. He says, because they haven't surrendered and given it a chance. Their own ego is preventing them from surrendering and giving it a real chance. Right. And I looked at him. I'm like, you know what? I feel that because I did that for quite a number of years. Right. I knew better. I would just take this in doses. And only when I jumped in the AA pool and said, I will do whatever you tell me to do, did I start to get alcoholically better. Mm-hmm. And only when I sat there and said to the doctor, I'll take whatever meds you want me to take.
That's right.
And I'll take them how you told me to take them.
That's right. And
I'll actually take some time off work and try to get some sleep.
Right.
And then I started, a little bit, started to get better.
Right. I mean, you're not on the couch now. It's 9 days later and you're back in the real world.
No, but I can tell there's a lot of similarities between,
isn't there,
drunk Glenn and sick Glenn.
Yeah.
I mean, this really, it's waking up. You know what it reminds. The clear reminder is waking up in the morning and saying, "Ugh, I'm still sick. What am I going to do today?"
Oh, that's a terrible. That's a terrible feeling.
Remember when
yes,
you're like,
do.
"Oh, I'm drunk.
Yes.
I'm hungover again.
Yeah, right.
What am I going to do today? How am I going to be different?" But you know what? I've got the sit-to-itiveness right now. I can sit there in my own shit and just say, hey, it's just another sick day. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to do the right things. And, I think it's a testimony. I don't live a lot today based on how I feel.
Right.
Based on knowing what the right next thing to do is.
Right. No, that's great. And that's that gain through pain that you reference. I mean, you pick it up a little bit. You just take that left foot and put it in front of the right foot and right foot in front of the left foot and rinse and repeat. You just keep doing it, right?
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. But, hey, the way I look at it now is if I'm sick now, I'll probably be better next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
we'll
what do you recommend to the guy who's still waking up saying, "Oh man, I feel sick"? What did you?
So I would say if the alcoholic guy that wakes up and says,
right.
Hey, I'm still hungover, I'm still sick.
Mm-hmm.
There is a solution. Mm-hmm. Underline that 100%. There is a solution. Mm-hmm. Being physically sick, going to the doctor, there is a solution. Mm-hmm. Right? Get outside your head and just say, I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do.
Mm-hmm. Can I add one thing? Yeah. For as long as you tell me to do it.
Right.
Because that's where I see the drop-off is. I read a statistic just this week that it was above 80%, maybe it was 82%, something like that, of people that have failed their New Year's resolution by February 1st. And I'm sure we'll talk about that as, at the year's end. But think about that. I mean, 8 out of 10 people quit doing what they said they were going to do by 30 days into a 365-day year.
Right. So I'm telling you, it takes self-awareness. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm busy. Got a lot of stuff, good stuff going, right? But I was driving with my daughter last night, and she paused and she looked at me. She goes, "Hey," she goes, "You haven't been to church in 2 weeks."
Okay.
And I'm like, "You're right," And I sit there, and now, I used to go to 7 to 10 meetings a week. Now I go to 1 or 2, right? I used to go to church every week. Now I go once or twice a month, right? And I used to say, hey, I listen to the messages. I haven't done that in 2 weeks, right? So what they always say about the rooms is when you stop coming, that's when the trouble starts.
Or what do you say? You can't swim if you're not in the pool. You can't learn to swim if you're not in the pool. You can't improve. You can't get stronger if you're not going to the gym.
So with that said, I'm going to a meeting tomorrow morning.
All right, there you go.
But, I mean, hey, that's, am I doing the right stuff every single day? And, that's why I love your color-coded calendar,
right.
And I really need to do that because, each color, I have to make sure that my sobriety remains a priority. I may not have to do it 40 hours a week like I used to do it. Right? Because I have other things to substitute that, other rewarding purposes in my life. But and that's a byproduct of being a good sober life.
Right.
But I still need to keep
you
going
gotta
back
stay on the
and
meds.
checking in.
You got to stay on the meds. I mean, it's just so important.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I don't know, man. There is some gain in the pain if you do it the right way. If you just sit there and wallow in it, I'm not sure what the gain is. But
right. It's interesting when I went through, when I was in rehab in early days, probably day 2, day 3, when I started getting clarity.
You were probably totally compliant in rehab, weren't you?
Oh, I was beyond compliant.
Did you have your notebook?
Yes, totally. I was a sponge. Well, my daughter gave me the notebook on the way out the door, and she said, Dad, take it, use it, learn what you can learn. I mean, that came from a non-alcoholic member of good standing with society. But
here's so much of those notes have been good content.
I still refer back to them. It's amazing what you hear if you listen. If you listen, it's amazing what you hear. But here's the one thing that settled on my brain in day 2 or day 3 of sobriety, and it was 4 simple words: get healthy, stay healthy. Right. So I was in the get healthy phase of my life, right? I had to get healthy before I could stay healthy. And that mantra has stayed with me to today, because today I'm still in the stay healthy. It's not a complicated life plan. Get healthy, stay healthy. I've succeeded in getting healthy, but think about it. If you went off your meds and went on a poor diet and picked up a bottle, I mean, your body would again be unhealthy, right? So get healthy is what we did when we were going to 10 meetings a week. We were getting healthy. Staying healthy means we still need to take the meds that we're taking. We still have to follow doctor's directive. Stay healthy is the important part of the equation. If I stay healthy, if I keep my body in tune, I'm going to be less likely to pick up whatever virus somebody has around me, because my body's immune system, because I'm staying healthy, has a better shot, and it's still a mantra I live by: get healthy, stay healthy. And I'd encourage anybody to grab onto those 4 simple words. It's not that complicated.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't see you take notes anymore.
Oh, I do. I
don't see you take your notepad.
I take an index card now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So same pill, different gel cap. Yeah. One was a capsule. This is a gel pack.
Dude, that's funny.
I keep a 3x5 index card in my
that's
pocket.
Outstanding. And then you go home and file them?
Yep.
Do you file them?
No, I transform them back into a notebook.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you filed them by topic or something.
And then a lot of times what will happen, just like these episodes of Sober.Coffee, if you really listen, there's 4 or 5 gems in a half
There
hour.
really are.
There are.
In fact, I wish we had like a digital media, social media guru who would separate them out and do them for posts for us.
Right.
But I mean, I have gone back and I've listened to a couple episodes, and I'm like, that's a gem.
Yeah.
That's a gem. You're a gem. and I'm telling you, man, it's great.
I know.
No, I just want to make sure that you kept,
Yeah, it's something I
Keep that
still do
library going.
because that's the way my brain works.
Right.
That's the way my healthy brain works. My healthy brain says, learn something, capture it, write it down, own it, hold it for a while, and reference it whenever you need it.
Here's what's crazy about being sick.
Yeah.
It just hit me as my craving for sugar is gone.
Really now?
Isn't that crazy? Like for 9 days, I haven't craved a single sweet thing. I'm just fine going through the day without eating 10 Oreos.
Right. So that's a miracle.
I know. I get some value from being sick.
Right.
I know. I don't know how to shut that thing off permanently.
Well, like you said, I mean, that's a pain, that's a gain that you didn't expect.
Right.
We talk about that a lot, the promises. I mean, we've gotten things that we never expected, benefits of being sick. We were alcoholically sick. Now I have the benefit that I never thought of good employment. I mean, I was an entrepreneur. It wasn't on my radar to have a solid employee job. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, so one last thing. We have
Yeah.
a couple seconds here, but went to Laguna Beach. Now, Laguna Beach, and I purposely went there. First of all, I love it there. It's one of my
it's
favorite
beautiful.
places
Yeah.
in this world.
Yeah.
But I have spent some of my darkest
days there, right?
in Laguna Beach.
Right.
And I wanted to go back because I can point to the darkest day of my life being in Laguna Beach. And now I can say one of my brightest days of my life is in Laguna Beach, full circle.
Isn't that something?
And I have a picture probably 20 years ago of just absolute pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a picture of last week of absolute joy with my family. And it's just full circle, man. It's cathartic. It's vindicating. I don't even know if that's a word, but excuse me. It's I'm telling you, I almost wondered why I wanted to do that. It does not even make sense. I should have talked to you about it before I did it, but it's just full circle.
Yeah.
And I talked to my 17-year-old daughter about it. I said, hey, she goes, why do you like Laguna Beach? I'm like, well, it's beautiful. Wait, you ate. And she loved it. And I said, but it's really full circle for me. I said, I was there when I wasn't doing the right things in life, and I knew how I felt. And now I've gone back and doing the right things in life. And I'm telling you, it's a good barometer. It's a good benchmark.
You know what just popped into my head, though?
What?
You did a victory lap. The
I
race car
did.
goes around the track.
Yeah, no,
and
it
it's
was-
intense, and it's turns, and there's accidents, and there's all this stuff. And then he wins, right? He wins the checker flag, and he does a victory lap. Now he's going slower, and he's just looking at the
was
crowd.
amazing. It was
just
amazing.
looking at the crowd, saying, "Here I am."
It was amazing. I was sitting there watching my grandbaby put her toes in the sand for the first time.
Wow!
And I remember 20 years ago, I was on that same beach, exact same spot.
Passed out.
I was drunk out of my mind, talking to a homeless guy, and we were talking about the benefits of being homeless, and I had no other answer in my life. I mean, it was just crazy.
And there you were. There you are.
It was just crazy.
Much later in your life. Yep.
Where is your Laguna Beach?
Mine, I just happened actually. It was
Michigan?
no, it was not a physical place. It was my house where just recently we hosted 40 people for an event, and that event called Thanksgiving. I had so much significant pain associated with it because they had what I wanted, which was a real life.
Right.
And I hope this makes sense, but these times when I'm with the same 40 people in the same venue, I now feel immense amount of joy because I have what they had, which is a normal, a shot at a normal life.
That's outstanding.
Right.
That's outstanding.
So it's right. So it's more of that mental place, though it's physically the same place that tormented me. You know, my house, my people tormented me, and now they're my treasures. You know, it's
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Closing thoughts. Go to the doctor. It's mine.
You know what, man?
Get the help available to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's really, there is a solution.
Yeah.
There is, whether it's a medical or
right.
whether it's alcohol, there is a solution, but you got to surrender. You got to get outside your head. You got to say, hey, I'm going to go get help. I'm going to take direction. And it's that point where things start to change. There is help. There is a solution, especially in AA.
Right.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
All right,
Have a great day. Feel better.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@Sober.Coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.